All right, welcome back. Shout out to Muttbusters in the building. I want to do a monologue here, short monologue. I want the media, this is my request to the media, to stop doing this, because you don't do it with dogs. When there is a dog that's deleted for whatever reason, you give us the dog's name before you even utter any other word. You come right out. Rover was ran over, right? Fido was this. Rover was that. Y'all make sure, you never forget, you make sure to put that worthless mutt's name in our face at the very beginning of your presentations. So why do y'all always do this? You always report fatalities on youngsters the way you see it here, 8-year-old killed. What they're doing is trying to project the boy as an object, as a lesser life form. Literally, that's what they're trying to do, because they're trained in schools to say the dog's name as a way to humanize it and get the listeners, to get the viewers to emotionally bond with the dog. So why don't y'all do that with victims, human victims? Why don't you do it with human victims? Why don't you at least do it with child victims? It's pretty sick. Sick business y'all into, nutters. Your nutter culture. Demonic stuff. So this took place in Volusia County. There was a fatality. We're going to get into some other things about this case as well.
With tragic news breaking now at 11 tonight, an 8-year-old boy is dead, mauled by a pair of dogs. I'm Ginger Gadsden. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, and I'm Matt Austin. Those dogs have now been chased down and captured after an attack Sheriff Mike Chitwood calls just horrific. It happened around 5 this evening near the intersection of Arabesque Drive and Airport Road. It's right off County Road 15A in the DeLand area. News 6's Troy Campbell is live in the neighborhood tonight. Troy, can you tell us what happened?
Okay. Their volume is kind of low, so I'm going to turn up their volume a little bit. I hope this is a little better.
Yeah, so right now we're standing just outside of the subdivision where the boy was killed. As soon as we pulled up, and there's still a scene here behind us, we saw a bicycle on the ground surrounded by caution tape. So the Volusia...
You see, they don't share the name because they don't want the viewers to feel like an 8-year-old boy was just killed. They want you to feel as if it was just a bird that was killed. It's pathetic. Y'all know this boy's name. You know his name. And I don't believe that it's always the request of the family to not reveal the victim's name. Y'all do that on purpose. You know why they do that, people? Notice they will reveal the victim's name several days later because they wait for everyone to calm down. See, if they reveal his name right now, there'll be far more motivation and hostility against dogs and far more motivation to make sure stuff like this stops happening. It's a real sick, demonic tactic that they all use.
Caution tape. So the Volusia County Sheriff's Office says about 5 p.m. this evening, they were called here to the area of Airport Road. This is inside the Berries Ridge subdivision. Investigators say a witness called into 911 saying they began CPR on the boy after he was attacked by 2 stray dogs. It appears the attack happened by the mailbox area for the subdivision. The sheriff's office says deputies chased the dogs down. Both dogs, one described as a pit bull, the other described as a mixed breed, have been
Mixed breed, it was a pit bull. It was a bully breed, I guarantee you.
taken into custody of the Volusia Animal Services and are being held in quarantine. Now on Facebook, Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood wrote, "I don't know what anyone can say to ease the immense pain this family is feeling tonight. This tragedy is beyond comprehension, especially for those..."
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I'm sick of you sheriffs, police departments, police officers. I'm sick of y'all talking like this. This tragedy is beyond comprehension, as if you've never heard of anything like this happening before. This is one of the most consistent attacks, whether it be fatal or not, in this country. Y'all think you can just play dumb forever, don't you? You think you can just run this con on the public forever without anybody questioning you, don't you? It ain't going down like that. Stop with this nonsense. It's not beyond comprehension. It's expected. Dog culture critics sitting back looking at our watch, waiting for the next attack to happen because y'all not doing nothing. And you're going to go right back to promoting these things and projecting them as the sweetest angels on earth that deserve more than 8-year-olds like this victim. Sick. Dog culture is sick. And dog culture needs to be casted back to the pits of hell for all of eternity. Need to wipe every worthless mutant off the face of the earth. No mercy. And there should be celebrations. And that should be a national, global holiday. Global holiday. The day we rid the earth of every last parasitic, slobbering, worthless mutt on this earth.
Those of us who are parents and grandparents, I can only ask for our community to say a prayer of strength for this family and keep them in your hearts as they face their worst nightmare.
Worst nightmare. Listen, if you ask me, an 8-year-old should not be out anywhere alone. Boy or girl, you're 8 years old. An adult should be with you. Why was this boy out riding his bike alone?
And there are still more details that have not been released, including
his name. Wow. Just no name. Just look at how this feels. It feels like you're listening to a report of a fatality of a chicken, of an inanimate object. And this is why they don't reveal names. You should reveal names and photos of the victim. In fact, you should share images of his injuries, of all dog attack injuries. This is a huge part of the problem. Y'all keep the general public in the dark of how much damage and how deadly these things are. With little tactics like this, you always conceal the injuries. That's why so many people are ignorant of the extent of damage these things can inflict. And it's all by design. That's how y'all want it.
Owns the dog, and if any charges will be filed. Sheriff Chitwood says he will provide an update tomorrow morning.
That is pathetic.
Live in Volusia County tonight, Troy Campbell, Getting Results News 6.
That is pathetic. Pathetic. This cases like this are supposed to serve as the number one motivator to ban these things, to exterminate these things. Volusia County is in Florida. This is supposed to be the chief motivator. Instead, when they want to implement a ban, they refer to a dog attack on another dog. Tell me I'm lying. Each and every time, there's been a couple cases where the ban was implemented because of an attack against a human, but it's rare. And it's because of little tactics like this. You want to conceal his name. You want to minimize the impact. Show us the scene. Show us what. Here's an image from the scene. A dog. Dogs create scenes like this every single day. Man's worst enemy. They don't deserve to be in our homes. They do not deserve food. They don't deserve nothing from us. Water, medical care. Nothing but euthanasia. Yeah, this is pathetic. Yeah, show his bite. When they came up to the scene, they said they saw a bike surrounded by caution tape. Yeah, show that. Seeing that you don't want to show him, you don't want to share his name, and we all know the routine. They're going to reveal his name and photos of him 3-4 days from now after it has died down a little bit. Sick. Y'all are sick. And this is why dog culture and dogs, dog owners, despicable. You don't deserve respect. All for likes and attention. Get out of here.
From your breaking news and weather authority, this is 13 Wham News at 5.
Sorry about that. Let me readjust my volume here. Looks like ABC 13 News is on top of their job here.
We begin with breaking news. Body camera footage just released of a terrifying dog.
Wait a minute. That story I'm going to save for last as a sort of celebration story.
And we start with a heartbreaking story in Volusia County. An 8-year-old boy is dead after being attacked by a pair of dogs this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Brown.
And I'm Luann Sorrell. That vicious attack happened in DeLand in a neighborhood near Airport Road and Arabasque Drive. That's where
they would have shared the dog's name by now. We all know that.
we find Fox 35's Chancellor Wynn live tonight. Chancellor, what a terrible story. What are you learning out there about this attack?
Well, I can tell you guys, we are here on Arabesque Drive, and I've been speaking with neighbors. Now, none of them wanted to go on camera, but I did speak with somebody who's lived in the neighborhood for multiple years. They tell us they saw the commotion, saw the police, but they've never seen anything quite like this, and they've never said that dogs have been seen just wandering this area. Now, I know we're a bit further away from the scene itself, but I want you to see how active it still is. We're about 5 hours into this investigation, and right there, those blue lights that you're seeing are at least 2 Volusia County Sheriff's deputies, and they're really sitting in front of this smaller parking lot, which has crime scene tape surrounding it. You might be able to see some of the reflecting lights off that crime scene tape. And right there, that small parking lot is also a bicycle. We're told that the 8-year-old boy was in that area, right in that parking lot by a little park, when he was attacked by those 2 dogs.
Now, you know the sickest part? Y'all know the sickest part of stories like this? Their dog experts insist that this boy provoked them. You sick lunatics, you degenerate pieces of trash. All you behaviorists, veterinarians, all you dog trainers, each and every one of you, you insist that he did something to provoke these dogs. This story is going viral. This was uploaded 12 hours ago, already 26,000, almost 27,000 views. It has a Facebook group, and that has hundreds of comments. And that is why they refuse to reveal his name. They're trying their best to dehumanize him in death. You sick, sick lunatics. Bending over backwards to dehumanize him. Really? Y'all think this 8-year-old did something to provoke these dogs? You so-called... This is why we snatched y'all stripes. Y'all not experts. We're the only dog experts over here. And it's disgusting that y'all were ever referred to as professionals.
When he was attacked by those two dogs. Now, we are learning that the two dogs, one is believed to be a pit bull, the other one a mixed breed. And of course, this really shaking up the community. Hundreds of comments on Facebook, hundreds of comments on social media. And I can tell you that even Sheriff Mike Chitwood taking to social media, releasing a statement. And in that statement, he says, in part, this is a tragedy beyond comprehension, especially for those of us who are parents and grandparents. I can only ask our community to say a prayer of strength for this family and keep them in your...
What's the boy's name? What's his name? Notice in these reports, they never, ever... I've watched several videos on this case, and I've read several articles on this case. None of them point out that the family did not want to reveal his name. So you know what that means? That means it's the media. It is easy to get his name. Y'all simply don't want to reveal it.
Your hearts as they face their worst nightmare. Now, I can tell you, according to the Volusia Sheriff's Office, there was a witness who was in the area. They're the ones who called 911 and even attempted to perform CPR on the 8-year-old boy. But right now, the newest update that we're getting is that the Volusia County Sheriff is actually going to be hosting a press conference addressing us and giving us a little deeper insight into this investigation. We know both the dogs have been captured.
And think about that. You about to conduct an investigation? If that investigation involves asking people around if they ever seen those dogs be aggressive, and that's exactly what you're going to do. And don't be surprised if one of these dogs end up being adopted out somewhere.
They're currently being held, but as to what comes next, we're still waiting to learn some details. Hopefully tomorrow morning is when we'll get...
Why are they being held? Why are they being held? Why not just put them down? I mean, the very fact that they keep these things alive for extended periods of time after fatalities like this, that itself is inhumane. Don't use my tax dollars to feed these things. We know y'all feeding it. You know what else? I bet you anything there are people rubbing on these dogs. Oh boy, so misunderstood. Oh yeah, boy, I'm sure it was an accident. You didn't know that was an 8-year-old. You can hear these nutters now doing their best to try to make an angel out of these things. So sick. And if you go and watch a dodo video after hearing about a story like this, that's the equivalent. And that's exactly what most of you are going to do, you nutters out there. The same exact day, you're going to try to lecture the world on how much of an angel dogs are.
A little bit more insight into this investigation. But for now,
we don't need no insight. Cook them all. Stop wasting our money feeding these things and euthanize them all. Now, this is a post posted in Reddit. in the Banned Pit Bulls group. This was the group I was referring to. Another massive group or platform for dog culture critics. Again, that's Banned Pit Bulls on Reddit. Currently has 119,000 members. This, along with Dog Free on Reddit, is the biggest dog culture critic platforms on the internet that I'm aware of. And remember, IHD is not the largest YouTube channel. It is now Pit Bull Victim Awareness. So we're growing. So here they just go over the attack, and they also shared some comments from the Facebook group down here. And I like some of these comments. Somebody said another one. Toyotas whose brakes failed got recalled and the ban got tarnished for several years. But nope, business as usual for the shelters and the nutters who bring these things into our communities. Business as usual. Y'all gonna go right along with life and project them as angels on earth. Sick, very sick stuff. Can you imagine as an 8-year-old? I can remember when I was 8 years old. I actually can remember back when I was 5 years old. I remember telling someone that I was 5 years old. I was outside. I was asked, and I remember telling them. Can you imagine at 8 years old being tortured to death? Being stabbed repeatedly? Laying in a puddle of your own blood? Screaming, crying for help? No one comes, no one hears you. That's what they go through. This is what he went through at 8 years old. See, this is what they don't want people to ponder over in their mind. Why not? If you are a group of humane individuals, that's exactly what you want them to ponder over in their head. You should want people to put themselves in the boy's shoes. They don't want people to do that. That's too humane. You might start to genuinely want attacks like this to stop. They don't want that. Someone said, RIP to the young boy. Hope the owners are held accountable for their carelessness. No, hope they're held accountable for owning the things, period. There's no such thing as a responsible owner of these beasts. The owners could have been out walking these dogs. And what would they do? Simply break free away from the owner. Pitbull Facts on Reddit. A good handle, real educational handle here on Reddit. Pitbull Facts. Says pit bulls kill more people and pets than all other dogs and wild animals combined. You also remember Kenneth, also the attorney, pointed this out years ago as well. I don't know why, I always forget his last name. They are like nuclear bombs. Talking about bully breeds. Yeah, let me use the term bully breeds. Hey, nutters. Hey, nutters. I'm talking about your dog, too. You own a Mastiff, Cane Corso. I'm talking about your dog, too. They're all bully. A Rottweiler. And let's focus on those dogs. They should be exterminated right now as I speak. There's no excuse for that. Y'all want me to be more realistic? Let's be more realistic. Bully breeds need to be gotten rid of. There's no excuse. There's no way to justify having fighting dogs, killer dogs. Let's set fighting dogs to the side because that's BS. They're not bred to fight. They're bred to kill. These are killers. There's no excuse for having dogs that were bred to kill in communities as pets. Should be gotten rid of right now. He said these things are like nuclear bombs created for evil, and they're uncontrollable. The pit bull someone trusts suddenly acts differently and kills. Often, loving owners are the victims. Yeah, this almost sounds like a dog lover. Like Big Tobacco, promoters of pit bulls popularized the breed on TV and pit bull films, deny the dangers, and defend the cash cows because it makes them money. Pit bulls keep shelters full as they are spayed and neutered at the lowest rate of all dogs. Unscrupulous nonprofits rake in millions, rehabbing pit bulls, and their deliberate overbreeding has made dog fighters safe, hidden in a sea of pit bulls with lots of disposable dogs. If people truly love pit bulls, they wouldn't own them. I'll take it a step further. If you're truly an animal lover, you would campaign for their complete extermination. How can you claim to be an animal lover and love animal killers? Yeah, refresh your memory on that again. They kill more pets, more wildlife than wildlife and people combined. That's ridiculous. They just have this brainless, thoughtless love for all animals, right? Oh, I'm such an animal lover. But then when you look at these people who claim to be animal lovers, you don't see them surrounded by animals at all. The only thing they're talking about is dogs. Dogs and only dogs. Well, those just happen to be the only so-called animals that need to be gotten rid of, that make the news constantly. Could you imagine pet hamsters, rabbits, squirrels making the news like this? It's normalized at this point. Shame on dog culture. Shame on all owners of these beasts. Just because your personal dog has not attacked anyone does not exclude you. You're a part of the problem, each and every one of you. You all need to actually become dog culture critics. And I think we're headed in that direction. Can't wait to see how we look 10 years from now. And we're not going nowhere. We only going to get stronger. And cases like this is going to serve as fuel. Shout out to all of you able to join me for this live stream. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.